Please explain about the qualities of Swabhavakaya so I can understand how Tathagata Garbha, when purified, transforms into it. Moni kugi yunden denzo chiki deshekenronas. Moni kugi. Moni kugi yunden denzo chik deshekernas. Kachansen jum. There should be Nimbuchorwa, the pa tabejel moni kulukure sajora. The yunden denzo hakwayach.
당원이고 대가르래서나 다진 공동 아주 쉬워 나신 전에 심지 천이대 주마 제다도 성대 저 팔 아니 심지 천이 고랑 주마 탐자단 trawa 되잖아 누구 주고 아리
So the Swabhavakaya, what it is when the ultimate reality of the mind, the Dhammadhatu of the mind, when the defilements that obscure this, when these defilements become lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser, so that eventually this ultimate reality of the mind is totally removed of all defilements, then it is transformed into the Swabhavakaya body. So therefore, we refer to the Swabhavakaya holy body as the state in which it is purified of the two. State that which is this state or the sphere that is completely purified of the two. So the two purified of the two refers to the purified of the natural defilements and purified of the temporary or the provisional defilements.
Lubuji Tremanaba Tatu Zamba. Ane Castle Lubuji Tremanaba Taba said, Chimalubu or Kondo Shabaki. Da Nimonda Nimonbala Sova. Ane Jibateta. Ane Simjila Charun Yimba. Lubu wa Yinzang. Ane Lubuji Tremateta Bamba Tatu Nidi Zamba. Bamba Tin Nivi. Ane Castle. Topji, Bamba Tigi, Topji, and a send the dimension to Shabbat Yonguari.
So, these, temporary or provisional defilements, as explained before, then refers to the afflictions and the secondary afflictions. The fact that that these two types of the obscurations, obscuration of delusions and the obscuration to omniscience, obscuration of knowledge, because they are all removable. So therefore, because of these provisional defilements are all removable, so you have the ultimate attainment of what is known as the ultimate abandonment. And due to the power of this attainment, the ultimate abandonment of all these provisional defilements, so the power that you get from this is to accomplish effortlessly the activities benefiting beings.
마게 산제기 연대 개샤도 간라 아니 가서래 산제군조 연대 개대샤도 간라 두마 체신 현지주 현지 경제 도면 최단 재단 누바다 전이된비 산제니 세대기 연대 개쇼게 관계 니와 현지주비 연대 세대 안다 들려샤고 아래 탄다 쉬어야돼 그러와 루부지 차와 아데 예배 아니 현대 현지주바 현대
So, therefore, when we present the 8 qualities of the Buddhahood, which is uncreated, spontaneously present, not realized due to extraneous conditions, wielding knowledge, compassionate love, and ability, these 8 qualities of Buddhahood, and the 2 benefits. These 8 qualities of Buddhahood, when it's referred to, of these 8 qualities, then the quality which is, spontaneously present, the 8 of the 8, this one quality is the quality that you receive, that you get or attain due to the power of ultimate abandonments of all provisional defilements.
Yeah, that's.
So, are all the uncompounded phenomena permanent? Yes, all uncompounded phenomena are permanent. Are all phenomena, including uncompounded ones, dependent? Dumache tamche and tended vesa. All phenomena, including uncompounded ones, are dependent.
tumda semza bagi ani shet shezu chegala gyujela tena chumi tenjin dewa singa de gyujela tena chuma la tende she shati zamba chötam je tende shaku amare gyuje ji go kang yimba rang gyujela tena kang chumi ngo tela tende shaku ah da tenda chötam je tende yin singa de kande je seyesana mo yuna zula 아니 랑기 차샤를 되네 주바 차샤를 되네 주발라 단데 샤지가라 라 되도 기권에 단데 샤지 잠바 아니 쳐탐제 단데 샤거래.
So in understanding dependently related arising, then you have you can understand it in the context of cause and effect. So from a Chittamatran point of view, it doesn't say that all phenomena are of that category, and dependent, related, arising due to causes and conditions. It's only the compounded phenomena that are dependently related, arising in the context of arising from causes and conditions. When we talk about all phenomena as dependent, including the uncompounded phenomena, then that is in the context of that all phenomena are dependent upon its parts and particles. In that respect, then all phenomena, including the uncompounded, are dependent. Is the space uncompounded phenomena? Yes, it is. What kind of relationship the bodhisattvas maintain with the Tathagata Garbha? Chanju Samba Namgi come the worship Nimbota Dewa Kante Yoresa.
Chanju Samba
Chanju Samba Namgirwa come the worship Nimbodan dewa khari yoresa.
Come the Orasivi, Nimbode, and charges and Bigula.
The Tathagata Garba is something that which is present in the mental continuum of a bodhisattva.
Oh, Maranzo, Sanjusaba Masa, and the Kasa Yindo Chok Dula, come the Orasivi Nimbo, said the Rigde, Chate.
And not just the bodhisattvas, all beings, oneself included, all beings have within us the Tathagata Garba, the essence of our Buddhahood.
No, yeah.
Bodhisattvas promise that they will stay until beings will be liberated. But beings are unlimited. I have a little problem with that. Could you explain that? Chenju Samba Namje, the Simchen Tamje, the Sama gave Pado, any Kwana Neyagi Tamja Idioris.
I can see.
Simchen Tamje Sama gave it, Tapamata Sama gave it, and Kunanzo Shui and Seachigi Tamja Idioris.
Chanjusamba. Didang Chanju Semje to do Dela.
And Krangisana that Simchen said, and Simchen Tamja said, and but Tangle Dev entered as Hokakoto sort.
Really, Kalawa. Jidan didn't show a race. Roger. Semji, Annie, Gawata Semji, Chujita Semji, Yambata Semji Chenny. To the Jangan song in by you. Gawata Semji Sirikara, Annie, Yabogi. Ani rang ani liu di jawar kene ani rang la temba gi bang tamje ani kharo sora dewa la ko ba na xin cheni ani rani la na ma bayan da ba so ye san je ji khon ba top chan ne ti ji su dung a ji na yu sim je tamje la na ma bayan da ba so ye san je ji khon ba la ko ba de ba de jawar da yu sim je se ko ba jawar da yu sim je se.
So this question relates to the the types of bodhicitta that bodhisattvas generate. There are three distinctive types. One is known as the king-like bodhicitta, the shepherd-like bodhicitta, and the Nyambata Basamkiti.
Nyambata was
okay, I understood. Before it becomes a long explanation, the ship's captain, so in the first type of the bodhicitta, the king-like bodhicitta, like an ordinary king, who has in his kingdom, this massive population that kind of rely upon him and depend upon him for their well-being. In the same way, in this king-like bodhicitta, then this bodhicitta is the bodhicitta, in which the individual bodhisattva then seeks to attain the unsurpassable, perfect, and complete state of enlightenment first, and through that attainment, then enabling or placing all sentient beings, bringing them to that state of enlightenment, freeing them from suffering, and enabling them in that state of peerless happiness.
Oh yeah. 다 된저기 추지다위 셈세게 추지기 추응을 땅에 안에라니 제라야 좋아나시 전에 심제도절하는 바양다바 소외 산제지 공방라 꾼에 뒤지소라니라는 바양다바 소외 산제 톰데 추지다우다 냠바다위스디랑당 농아지나위 심제 탐제 냠바기 추파로도 안에 가소래 랑당 냐 같은 나라 정경기 아니 냠도 파게 추로 파를 레와 나시 전에 란다 섬제 탐제 냠도 나는 바양다바 소로 산제지 공방 타바던 게 섬제 전에가나 냠바다위 섬제 전이다 숨요아래데 아니 자주 선박이 섬 기술라 삼진미자와 다 요아래데 우유내서라잖아 아니 가서래 최두자와 섬자든지라는 바양다고 소위 산재라 공방라 꿰네 아니 라라는 바양다고 소위 chan주주 공방라 토바 되가 이나 아니 텐다위 섬지기 섬지기 미유 현대 제사가 유명하도 차용과래자 인상 다 섬기주라 삼지미자와 텐데 요아래디 우유내서라 파 야왔다 있으면 용고고 있지
So, and then of course in the shepherd-like bodhicitta, just like a shepherd, herds the animals ahead of him, and then the shepherd follows after the animals. In the same way, in the spirit of the bodhicitta, then the motivation is to enable the enlightenment of all sentient beings first, and then and then only after that to seek one's own enlightenment. And then in the spirit of the ship's captain like bodhicitta, then just like the ship's captain that mans mans that particular ship and crosses the ocean himself and all the people on that ship together, then in the spirit of that bodhicitta, then in the spirit of that bodhicitta, the aspiration is for oneself and all sentient beings to attain enlightenment together. So, although bodhisattvas have some of these most extraordinary, unbelievable ways in which they commit themselves to the altruistic aspirations of bodhicitta, but in the reality of the fact, how it really works is like in the spirit of the first type of bodhicitta, how it works is in that kind of way, because oneself, how it works is that oneself first attains the unsurpassable perfect state of enlightenment, and enables that for all others. That is much more real, as opposed to in the other cases. Then you may lose the objective for your enlightenment if all the sentient beings are already enlightened like that.
아니 자세 자주 선반 남지 셈지도 정하라 왜 저가와 인바 인장 아니 니단 디스 타적가와도 다 예시세지 처음에 나가서 송하네 장을 맞정아 라
Sergey
sen딩이 나서
간댔어.
데 셈지주 가서래 니단 디레 세니 안 빠빠가와
as it is stated in the letter to a king, although you have all these different ways of generating bodhicitta, you cannot say that it is this or that like that. You cannot sort of expressly designate that it's this type of bodhicitta or that type of bodhicitta. You cannot say that.
Yeah, that way.
Okay, it's finished. At the beginning of his commentary, Gyaltsab says, "Ten tambe demba data number tope yuldu chungse kyang cha minube chungse kyang cha minube pen mayinde." The Gyaltsab the Devanand Dindechi Sunshas. But if this is so, why does he say di imbarachina and di wama de kachan sungores? Chuni datoki jitar juju said the kachan sure.
Koran 잘한다. 된다 뭐 말해.
Sida ipinetisha. Di gang di sumbra chin water kata kata.
Koran ibada.
Tandamba Dada. Tentambe. Tentamba.
Tendam Demba Silver, that did have a house. Tendam Demba, Tendam Demba, Invitation Londa. And then there was not over you to choose a chamini, said. Tendam Demba, Dada Dobe, you the chamini said in the cigar mari. Tenan Deba Day, Tukuma cigar mari. Tenan Deba Dobe, you the chimney cigar mari.
So it's not being, what is not being said here is that ultimate truth, that is cannot be expressed by words or, cannot be conceptualized. It's not being said that.
Yeah. So when I carry this, turn down the body, rage.
What's your
if it's not the case that analysis is of no use in analyzing the ultimate, then why does Gyaltsab say that formal analysis is of use in understanding Chin?
So anyway, the main thing is if you listen to Rinpoche's explanation is
Tendam Deba Drata Tobu you to choose a chimney with Maris. Tendo Dato you. Ona Karade Senagala, Tendam Demba de Dray Jitu Yang, Tendam Debagin, Dray, Tendam Dembaki, Nezudan Tumba and Dray Jemituba.
So,
Toto Jitu Zoyu to
Nesuda Jetumerwa. So, So
Tendan Demba Korang Yuji Nezudan Tumba Vichi any Dajetmineba.
So when it says that that ultimate truths, it's not saying that ultimate truths cannot be expressed and cannot be conceptualized. Not being, what is being said here is that ultimate truths cannot be expressed in accordance with reality. That is what is being said. It's not saying that ultimate truths cannot be expressed or cannot be conceptualized. It's just saying that ultimate truths cannot be expressed in accordance with reality. Likewise, ultimate truths can be conceptualized, but it is not known in its complete way. That conceptualization of ultimate truths is not a complete knowledge of ultimate truths.
Toba to Amara. Tobalgi, Tendam Demba Todi Kala, Tobalgi, Tendam Debi cheated and Jenny, Tunjita and Jenny.
So,
Tunji de Tendam Demba Navi Gone, Dadin, only Tendam Demba the Dogo Armado, Tunjita Mandreba, Tendam Demba Korangi, or Ranshimone de Dotugamare.
So, why is it that our concept is not able to realize ultimate truths in its complete form? Is because when our conceptual mind has the knowledge of that ultimate truth, that knowledge of the ultimate truth is together with the generic image, and so it's known to mixed up together with this generic. So therefore, that conceptual mind does not know the actual nature of the ultimate truth. And it is in that respect we say that that conceptualization does not know in its complete form, that in its complete, it does not have the complete knowledge of that ultimate truth. Okay.
So, in
the same way, in making any sort of expression about ultimate truth, whatever we express about the ultimate truth, it can never be expressed in accordance with the actual nature of that ultimate truth. So in that respect, we say that it is inexpressible in words. So, but it's not saying that, it is mostly in relation to the actual nature. It's talking like that, rather than saying that, you cannot express ultimate truths in words, or you cannot realize ultimate truths.
Oh yeah, in the that tandem deba korangi nezu mama chishindo don't get the sure sana that tandem deba musum to be shitty.
So what is it that knows directly the actual ultimate truth? It is only that exalted knower. It is only that particular exalted knower that directly realizes ultimate truth, that knows the actual mode of that ultimate truth. So
아니 된다고 된바 코랑기 뭐 대당 무슨 또 비이신이 어디 출라 추샤바나시 오로직도 저거래.
So what is that exalted knower that directly realizes an ultimate truth? That exalted knower is free of duality, free of the appearances of the object of negation, realizes the ultimate truth, the nature of that ultimate truth directly, and knows it like putting water in water, and it is of one taste.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Jigsaw tawa. Jigsaw tawa. View of the transitory collection. The jigsaw tawa called Taranshuk. Jigsaw tawa.
Jigsaw tawa.
Taranshuk sumba to yanjo to ranas.
The
jigsaw tawa called Taransu. Jigda.
Jigda nda machida dimma chanto kore tejiya.
It'll come again.
Yeah. Jigda hasna. That dire 가서 jigda sina. Jigda se 가르선 jigsola tawa 세대 가라. jigba 세대 가르선아 풍봉아 초바. 是吧? 풍봉아 초바리 풍봉아 초바라 때네 따위. 다 탄주랑 말았으나 풍봉아 초바라 때네 따위 직소라 초바라 어때? 아니 미유대
So the view of the transitory collection, the transitory collection refers to the collection of the five aggregates, and because its nature is transitory, or something that disintegrates. So it's like in that context known as transitory collection, of the five aggregates. So with this basis, then you label the I. So from a Prasankhya from a Prasankhya viewpoint, then it is this I that which is designated on the basis of these five transitory collection.
단이 된다요 가서래 통보 처발라 때네 타위 나텔라 nga tsam la mine ani nga de kasore rawandu chubam ani rang chenyi chuba wa jingende la ani jigda nga samji jigda sigwaresi.
So the I, which is merely labeled on this basis of the transitory collection of the 5 aggregates, on this, holding this merely labeled I as something that which is independent, existent by way of its own characteristics, is what is known as the view of the transitory collection.
So
this has, 2 types of view in relation to this view of the transitory collection. The view in relation to the object of the mere I, and the view of the transitory collection in relation to what is mine of that. So you have the view of the transitory collection in relation to the mere I, and in relation to what is the mind of that mere I. So as so in like in Madhya, it says that first you have the generation of the I, the clinging to that I, the sense of clinging to that I, and on the basis of these collection of on the basis of this collection of the aggregates, you have the clinging of the clinging to the I, and it is that clinging toward the I which is independent, existent by way of its own characteristics.
아니 다기와라 미네 미소대단 다기오 냠도 아니 다기와라 미네 아니 다기오 마이와라 미네 아니 랑게천이 추가 정gen들이 마요 냠도 미소대단 다기오 냠도 아니 마이와라 미네 아니 랑게천이 추가 정gen들라 마이와 정비치다 지기와레스 디기 지다 디기 마당 마이와 니가 랑게천이 추가 정거와레.
So because of this first, clinging to an I, which is independent, existent by way of its own characteristics, based on the basis of the 5 aggregates, this I that one clings to as being independent and existent by way of its own characteristics, because of this, this first form of clinging towards the I. Then, as a result of that, then you have the, the clinging to what is mine of that particular I. My this, my that, my, everything that this particular I.
Oh yeah,
sure. Everything that this I, comes to enjoy or comes to utilize. Then you have the second form of clinging of what is mine. In this second form of clinging towards what is mine, this incorporates both the clinging towards the I as well as towards whatever is mine of that I.
This one you are Komarasana. Misonam Dagiwa Tone, Dagiwa la Tempachapa Gives. Sundi Zamba, Mayua Zimbi, Jilta Tegi, Misola Miguamare. Misonam Dagi launch a Dagiwa Tone, Ani Dagi Dinin Dagiwo, Yamdo, Ani Dagiwa la Mine, Ani Rashin Chua Zimba Remado, Misola Mibamare. They have go in better.
Jikte wong.
Jikta thing, I was in Jikta thing.
I was in the Jida Digi.
Jida Digi, did you carry to our Miso Dagiwa Tone, Dagiwa la Tempachapa Jeji, Jenny, so and Ashin, Jenny, Miso de Dagiwo, Yamdo, any Ranjat, Ramutu, Rawandu, Zene career sana, Dagiwa Rashin to attend what is.
Okay, so in relation to the view of the transitory collection, when it has that kind of clinging to the I and what is mine of that particular I, then such as the objects of the five senses, such as the everything that the five objects that it does that view of the transitory collection has that clinging in relation to what is mine of the objects of the five senses, but tanda geng suya de ngayu wala tene Zimbabwe mashi.
Oh, miso Mares. Miso one dark tone, miso didani, Dagiwo, Yamdo, and a Dagiwa, round rushing to a single race.
So, it in relation to the view of the transitory collections, clinging to the I and the mine, the clinging to the mine is associated with the possessions or the utilities of the objects of the five senses as mine, not with the senses itself, but with the objects of the sensory faculties. The objects of the sensory faculties, in relation to those objects of the sensory faculty, it has that association of the clinging towards what is mine, and not with the sensory faculties itself.
That's why they in the Misola Migamari. Misola Mami Bade, Mayu was in Bichita Hengi, Mibani, Mayu Ni, Mayu Miso Tenchi, Mipa Misungo, Cheni, Janamatonga Wachim, Ombarasa, Zashi Tijen, Kamkatekawa, the Shenimo, Kangali. Mayu was in Bichita Hengi. Mibade careers and Mayu Niri, Sangayu Mando, Miss Yemares, Mayu Tenshi Musumi Basungu Mares, or to Sonare.
In this form of the innate form of Jikta, innate form of the view of the transitory collection, the object of this innate form of the view of the transitory collection is only the sense of the mind and nothing else.
This one. How goes one? Oh, yeah.
In the innate, in respect to what the innate, in the innate form of the view of the transitory collection, that innate form, that form of innate clinging of the view of the transitory collection is associated only with the sense of mind. Okay, and that is clearly stated by Lama Tsongkhapa in Lekshe Nyingpo, in Ocean of Reasoning, in Gompa Raksal. In all of those texts, it states very clearly that the object of the the innate form of the view of the transitory collection is only that sense of mind.
그래서 다 대인지 잡아 직대되게 가르 증거하래 해서나 마당 마이원이가랑 그 천지 줘 증거하래.
So therefore you say, therefore the view of the transitory collection, is grasping at the I and the mine as both existing by way of its own characteristics. I and mine, both as existing. The view of the transitory collection then is grasping at both the I and the mine as existing by way of its own characteristics. So an example of what is that mine, an illustration of what is mine is is only phenomena. If you say what is an example of that sense of mind? Is it a person or a phenomenon? You have to say it's phenomena.
Yet
that sense of that mind is not the person and also not a phenomena. It's neither of those two. In the Prasangic system, the criteria for differentiating the selflessness when you differentiate what is the self-grasping of a person or a self-grasping of phenomena, it is differentiated by the basis. If the basis is a person, and on the basis of this person, then if you establish the non-inherent existence, the lack of inherent existence of that person, then it is the selflessness of that particular person. And if the basis is a phenomenon, then it becomes the selflessness of that particular phenomenon. So if you are talking about a sense of mind which is not a person as well as not a phenomenon, of the two, then you have the danger of including it as a phenomenon.
안에 가서 장군라마 정가와 첨박 진주기 두자 가서 개원나라 시주 민자와 여와레디 당만도 시주디 전에 지고야 됐어.
So as followers of the tradition of the writings and sayings of Lama Tsongkhapa, then our position is that although there are many views with regards to this, but our position would be that what is mine is a phenomenon, is something that which is not a phenomenon, nor is it a person.
Oh yeah, they that there's one dictator tele.
So
that 이자양 디 마기 니몬제라 많이 지서라 다니 가서 다간 니몬제나 말이 달래 치마 뭐이 통주지 다니 니 유도 도잖아 난저 바이 다니 고바 체세기 당아지 니도아 是吧？
ringtas.
蒙特说。
蒙特。
你们店呢，没力就做了，大来穷啊，落于通就去，他都什么是吧？的，你们店呢， 아니 가래래서 녀모비 균 개가 나질라 소비 아니 균 탐제 직달라 총알에 스타타장을 주는 거 직달라.
So kohasum sumres. So in Madhumika then it states saying that all the failings and shortcomings of our afflictions and its resulting experiences of birth, aging, sickness, and death, and so forth, all arise from this view of the transitory collection. So, and then it says that if I realize the object of the nominal existence, nominally existent I or the self or the person, if I realize this.
아니 난조바이 다는 고바체 세데 다데 다나 라신지 주바 가치다 가기다
and then the
가제다데
and the I which is negated by the yogi is the I that does not exist, the I that which is the object of negation.
어때? 야, 다니 디유도와 식미유다데 타녀비다 여주데 가야데 나라신지 주와데 오마데.
So therefore you have two eyes, the nominal eye, which is the objective eye, and then you have the eye which is to be negated, refuted, which is the I that inherently or intrinsically exists.
아야다, 다도야.
다가르샤.
도와.
다가르샤.
오야, 다데 데이터네 당한주 다주 주사데 가와레서나 예나바시 세데 수름다 띵에서다 셔럽지 라와 세가라 합에 라와 숨당 아니 최나 지금 투대 미제바 준비 송 참바다 미제바 준비 참바다 셔럽 세야데 송데가 예나바시 센터 주사를
So earlier we already finished talking about the four ornaments of the bodhisattvas, the three higher forms of training, and as well as the Lava Sumda. And then recollection. Which recollection refers to the remembrance and the wisdom that is able to maintain and the words and the meaning of all the scriptures. Having the recollection of all of that, having the wisdom, remembering all of that.
아니 가서래 나와 yes 담비 취지 나와 터징이지 그러와 아니 뜨무기 멤버다 차외 취주고 신도 싸워라 챙게 가르래스나 아니다 나와 제보되라 참바 세가나 다디 가서래 천남자 라나 지 천년 만제와 제박이 참바당.
So then you have after that the eight illumination. The eight illumination refers to the having the illumination of the light of the Dharma, that which is able to dispel the darkness of the ignorance. And so The first is the illumination of the recollection of the characteristics.
Oh yeah, that is
the general and the particular dharmas. You have the individual definition and general definition of phenomena. Then having the recollection, illumination of the recollection of the general definition of phenomena and or the definition of the particular phenomena.
鸡蛋的多蛮多多有这话当，俺汤马说的，俺让有这些去过是吧？一张前半年下现在的了，看着就过来意思呢。俺呢，有时候什么就劝他们了，参与艺术大难些是，有时候什么都劝他们了。 社区的有点做给他了，我那些钱呢，绿党、错话的，绿党、错话的，深党确实绿做深做西绿错话深确实，我太大没把太大了没呢，啊，你让党既参与艺术大呢，大碗切把给，啊你。
So also it's Temba also sometimes is translated as mindfulness, a kind of mindfulness. So mindfulness of the body, feeling, mind, and phenomena. So Rinpoche says that I haven't. That Rinpoche hasn't seen it in a particular commentary, but it could mean that having the mindfulness of the general and particular definitions in relation to the body, the feeling, the mind, and phenomena.
That's right. Ora, that he na la diola lodu said lodu share the meaning. So lodu share the meaning is a needs to do share of la jana to go at it. Yeah, Landogin Casore, Landogin pushing to JB share of la jana to go at it. The
third one is the intelligence, which can also refer to wisdom. Wisdom to know what to do and what not to do. Having the clarity of the wisdom to be able to devote oneself to what to practice and what to abandon.
Oh, those margin, Lucena, Anne Bena Chibocasore. 且在我这些呢，点把西药的话，点把西给拿了，如果你帮家当，过了你朗多你朗家的话，人家朗多今年所说的，你今天给全把当，啊你写了你都写了这个的，是吧
？So, like if you take the example of the Four Noble Truths, the first two noble truths, the reality of suffering and the reality of the cause of suffering, the truth of suffering and the truth of origin, those are to be abandoned, and true path, true cessation, true path is to be adopted. And so, having the mindfulness and the wisdom in relation to that.
在今天第一节说多巴当是一个啦，安尼卡说的电信内路，安尼内路啦，安尼讲大那吞巴的，叫他们那个叫他们揉下去，是吧？
So the fourth one is excuse me. The fourth one is realization. Realization here can refer to realization of the Four Noble Truths. The clarity that comes out of the clarity which arises out of meditation that one does on the Four Noble Truths, the realization.
他今天 第一节啦，确当协话当是一个说，唐南吉那个说，确当是一个啦，你确实当18年，确当就是吧？确当协话当是呢，确实当确实，绝对当绝对，真的。但第二点个没多上头，确当协话当是吧
？And the fifth point of the illumination of the Dharma then refers to, like on the path of seeing. Then you have the forbearance of Dharma, forbearance of knowledge, subsequent knowledge, subsequent forbearance that you talk about on the details of the path of seeing. It refers to that. Huh? Yeah, like on the path of seeing, the illumination that is being referred to as the fifth illumination refers to those illumination of knowledge that one attains on the path of seeing, such as subsequent knowledge, subsequent forbearance, forbearance. Those are the details of the path on the path of seeing. There are these different stages. So it refers to those knowledge. So when we talk about what is the forbearance of Dharma, forbearance of Dharma comes when one attains the uninterrupted path on the path of seeing. And this uninterrupted path on the path of seeing refers to having generated the direct antidote on the imputed grasping, on the imputed form of grasping. And then you attain, when you have generated this direct antidote on the imputed form of grasping, you have the forbearance of Dharma. So if you go into forbearance of Dharma and forbearance of knowledge, then that's again very extensive. When we talk about knowledge or chushe, knowledge of the Dharma, then what it refers to is the abandonments, the abandonments that one gets to abandon on the path of seeing. So again, what are those types of abandonments? Again, there are two categories: the abandonments of the desire realm and the abandonments of the form and the formless realms. Forbearance of Dharma is when one is referred to when one generates the antidote to the objects of abandonments of the desire realm. Whatever is to be abandoned of the desire realm, when one generates the antidotes to that, then they are referred to as having generated the forbearance of Dharma. And subsequent forbearance is when one generates the antidotes to the objects of abandonments of the form and the formless realm.
kam kwama ki thombang pang bi chane jeshi.
So, and then you have subsequent. You have Dharma knowledge and subsequent knowledge. So the Dharma knowledge is when one has completely abandoned whatever needs to be abandoned on the path of seeing, the abandonments in relation to the desire realm, then you have the knowledge of the Dharma. And when you have abandoned everything that is to be abandoned on the path of seeing in relation to the realms of the form and the formless, then you have the subsequent knowledge.
Debi Tombang Bang Bonji Munye Pacha Melamda, Kaze, Kamsumji Tombang Bonji Munye Pacha Melamdang. Kamsumji Tombang Bambi Namdo Lamtera, Shewa Chayikana, Cheda Shewa Tang.
So the fifth point, when we talk about the illumination of Dharma and the illumination of the knowledge, refers to the uninterrupted path, uninterrupted paths, and the liberated paths of the path of seeing that enables the complete abandonments of whatever needs to be abandoned on the whatever needs to be abandoned on the path of seeing in relation to the three realms. So this fifth point, the nawa dila ngaba de sungurwa chö said.
Chödan Sheva.
Chödan Sheva.
Temba Lodru Toba Chödan Sheva.
Chödan Sheva. So the fifth and the sixth, where we talk about the and the ngaba tubala
so temba da Lodru da Toba da Sheva, Chödan Sheva Chinsong.
So we have covered the wisdom or intelligence, then the realization, the Dharma, and the consciousness or the awareness or knowledge. What is being referred to here are basically with regards to the the liberated paths and the uninterrupted paths generated on the path of seeing, through which one completely gets to completely abandon everything that needs to be abandoned on the path of seeing in relation to the three realms. And then the next one is the truth, Demba.
There's one.
The truth here refers to the truth that has been realized, then previously realized, then by reflecting upon it over and over again, then cultivating on it or improving on it or developing on it.
Wamba Shewa Segara, Duji Kamda Samba Chitawa Shindu Shewe. Shewa.
Tanda widely there. The Tanda Gede.
The Jakin Andrewa. Tempadang, Lodredang, Chödang, Tempadang, Lodredang, Tobadang, Chödang, Shewa Shangashe.
Shewa.
Then it a Dembache. Dembache. Tangwamba Shewa Dang Segara, Duji Kamda Sambadang. And then the next is knowing directly, manifest knowledge, knowing directly. And what this refers to is the knowledge of sentient beings that are to be subdued, knowing their mind level, their predisposition, interest, and so forth. That kind of having the first-hand knowledge of that. And then the last one is
the illumination of practice.
Oh, take it. Oh, to bate, and a chance to send back now, number get said it, draw, come Johnny. That is Jella, and a castle, you just number two.
So this completes the 8 illumination of the bodhisattvas, which are the purifiers for the element. And then the next is the 16 compassion of the bodhisattvas.
That is you jump to take it on. That may you draw Chen Sungu and in the Tawa Nazoba, Tawa Nazobecha, Tawa Nazoba, Sika, that is Tawa Nane, Tawa La Mayorwa, Rawa, Tajikatan, Tatadan, all Kasem, Tajin Jigda, Tata, Tawa Chonzi, Sudrum the Dushi Chonzi, say so. I know about Tawa, Sita Tawa Mayor in the Tawangala Sovaki and the Tawana Sova.
So these 16 compassion of the bodhisattvas relate to the object of compassion. And the first is the compassion that the bodhisattvas generate in relation to the various viewpoints of the sentient beings. Such as the view of the transitory collection, the extreme views, the view that holds perverse conduct as superior, modes of behavior or conduct as superior, and holds a perverse view as superior, like those. Compassion in relation to the various viewpoints of the sentient beings.
That Chijilo, she said, Kasayaka Chonsonga, and Tata Chijilo, she is Tabala Dewachim, Tabala, Midabala, Tabachimba, Dungalan Dewachimba, and Tatu Madubala, the Tatu Chuvachimba, Mizamala, Zawachimba, said the Tata, she said, Chijilo, she was in body.
So, the first is, the compassion that the bodhisattvas have in relation to the various mistaken viewpoints of the sentient beings. And the second is the compassion in relation to sentient beings for particular mistaken views, mistaken views in relation to holding something that which is impermanent as permanent, the view of holding something that which is suffering as happiness, what is non-self-existent as self-existent, and what is impure in actuality, impure as pure. So these type of mistaken views.
Oh yeah.
And then the third is, the view of the transitory collection of, the view of the transitory collection of what is the I and mine. Then you have the 5 types of obscurations. So what are the 5 types of obscurations referred to here is, aspiring to objects of our, aspiring towards the objects of our attachment, having the wish to harm, ill will. Sleep and sluggishness.
No, 아니 고바당 개반이 보다 장가질로 하자.
And then the fourth one is mental distraction, mental excitement, and mental sinking. And deluded doubt are the 5 obscurations. Just like how it is stated in the letter to these five obscurations. So the reason why we put sleep and mukpa, sluggishness. Okay. Did I say sluggishness? Okay. Also, it's like lethargy. The reason why they are put together as one, in the same category, is because the causes generating these 2 mind states are the same, such as overeating. You both generate sleep and sluggishness, and antidotes to both are the same, and the course of action of these 2 things are the same. So it is for that reason you put these 2 together. As in the Abhidhamma Kosha. Okay. The antidote for both sluggish mind and sleepy mind is, refreshing yourself, being in a place which is very bright and light, kind of like that. So when we talk about this, the same causes giving rise to both of these 2 states, such as when physically we are very tired, or or when our mind has lost sort of inspiration, it gives rise to these kind of states. And the course of action of both sleep and sluggishness is the same, in the sense that sleep and sluggishness are both an obstacle for our mind to stay engaged in its objective.
갈라서.
That was a very profound laughter.
세상 차와 집이 칠제라. 다들이 다들 송아를 되려와. 다들이 그 대래 이문이죠. 거짓이오대. 과바제 주카르에서나 아니 예두당. 예두 템발라사. 라서와 아텐데라 때나 제와 인장. 아니 과바시에 규태체세야 돼. 과바시를 채는데 년보 코레에서나 아니 셈 등에서라 제주도 나와 신나기 아니 과바시어 중거 과바줘봐 세바체는 년보 신나야 공부 등에서 공부. 그러와 파도 제바 셈네 미바라 제주도 나와라 파도 제바.
So the 친구들과
말이 거기부터 줘봐니.
줘봐.
줘봐. 거기부터 줘봐.
Ole, 줘봐.
줘봐.
I think I made a mistake.
거기부터 줘봐니래다.
줘봐.
줘봐 기세.
I made a mistake. First is the
센서도 쳐지.
you know, for the some yerdu te karsole. Yerdu ken tanda yerdu son. Some yerdu.
Yerdu스나 yerdu기 can이 아니 some 치료를 인도거라. yerdu스나 빈다 빈자라 yerdu스로. 빈예스야.
So I made a mistake with the first, with the combination of the two, where I said mental excitement and I said thinking. No, it's not thinking; it's regret. Regret. The mental excitement is, you know, when one's mind reflects on objects and subjects that are very close to your mind, you know, the example Rinpoche uses is like, you know, thinking about your friends and families, but, you know, basically objects that one is obsessed with or attached to. So the antidote to this is basically cultivating calm abiding. And you know, the obstacle of this mind is of this mental excitement is basically you know, taking you away from the single pointed focus.
요야 다 대진도 태존님원제是吧 태존님원제 세가라 덴바라 태존사야기 태존님원제 안내 군다
And deluded forms of doubt refers to doubt in relation to what is true, what is reality, you know, what is imputed like that. So those are deluded doubt. So.
시원이 임무 거진이기 등에잖아 품보라 내봐지 등에진기 등에진기야 안 받쳐봐지 태좀되기 아니 셔럽지 가서 셔럽지 나와라 받쳐봐지 말해.
So these 5 types of obscurations then, you know, are an obstacle to the 3 higher forms of training. You know, aspiring towards our objects of our attachment and obsession is it can be a cause to undermine higher training in morality, ethics, you know, and then, you know, as well as, you know, ill will, you know, the wish to harm. These first 2 undermine, you know, higher training in morality, and you know, the sleep, the sluggishness, the regret, you know, the mental excitement. They undermine our concentration, higher training in concentration, and the deluded form of doubt then undermines higher training in wisdom.
인자 니직 풍보 내치배 세가라 주주이 풍보가 내바칭한데라 더발라 tum바다 내심 아니 등의 풍보를 내바칭한데라 아니 그진이당 아니가 이문이 싫어지 풍보를 내바칭한데라 아니 최좀 제이가나 오두시아니 이직 풍보 내체바 좀 지나 많이도 스투심바
So Rumshi basically said the same thing, that which harms the aggregate of morality or our aspiration to the objects of our, desire and attachment, ill will, that which harms the aggregate of our concentration is the sleep, sluggishness, or mental excitement and regret, and then and that which harms the aggregate of our wisdom is deluded doubt. The next is, our attachment to the objects of our six senses. The visual form, the sound, the smell, and the smell, the taste, the touch, like that. Being attached to the objects of our six sense faculties.
담보들라 냠뱅 아자 사뱅 아자시 그러와 되는 아자랑 아자 뭐는 어우 냠뱅 아자 아니 가서 어우 냠뱅 아자 원뱅 아자
원뱅 아기할 때 근데
원뱅 아자 코란다 원뱅 아자스나 코란 추와 나시잖아요. 코란이 오늘 옛날에 코란 추 코란을 줘봐. 연대 대단테. 연대 대단 줘봐. 연바 원바 코란랑 그 그냥 매발라야. 매발에 줘봐 때 따와타 매바 냐바 원방하자.
So then you have the 7 types of pride. You have the what is the pride of self-importance, sort of qualities or things that you don't have, but you have the sense of the pride or the importance of having this or that quality in oneself. And then you have exaggerated pride, and then you have the arrogance of one's self-importance, which is it's literally, it says pride of pride, the arrogance of one's own self-importance. Then egotistical pride, 시촌스.
시가 참아서, 시참아서. 로아. 뒤와리.
응원뱅아.
담보대라 냠뱅 아자체. 얘네 사병 아자체. 얘네 아자량 아자체. 얘네 어우 냠뱅 아자체. 어느 원뱅 아자체. 다 뒤냐서 중세 냠뱅 아자. 로아. 코당가 연대 중세 냠밖에 아자체. 중세 냠비 냥 아자. 아니 로뱅 아자스. 아자 뒤투신 말이야.
So and then you have what is known as this kind of what I call modest pride, a kind of passive form of pride, kind of modest, and the lopenagel means wrong form of pride, and then and the Tashat Kandis Joven.
Tassamla Tanda Meda, Rawa.
And Tanda the
Chuse Nyampinya,
the Kong de Kasuma, the Kong de Jixus.
Karela. Koleanga, Chuse Chikima, the Nyabai, Nyabakangachi or Chuse Nyampinya.
The Hakosra, the Mayo number Gag jail Jixus.
원병 아자 친소아 대충 사송아
ngombe ngakela kandeso
다지 바 연된데
dime di shimechons
가로다 나오냐 병아자
di jelchons
맞아야 맞아
lapsa
나도 가로다 비산자소 당부디냐 병아자체
lapsa
드네 병아자체 되네
ngakege
맞아야 맞아체 나오냐 병아자체 ngombe
ngakege
맞아
di kandesla
다지 쉬어인 봐 연된데
ngombe ngakeda nyembe ngakeni kewha
냠바스나 코당아 냠바래 연대 냠바인 냠바가 가자지와라 그 냠바가 자식거라 와
and nyembe ngakel means like pride of being equal that was the one I didn't get the uterus so I said I already passed on everything
다 파벨람나 냠바 사이도 파벨라나 냠바
and the next is having degenerated from the Arya paths
다 파벨냠나 냠바 사이가라 파벨람 냠니 아니 소스교라 마송에들이 와 말이 저 파발 턱 친제라 아니 파벨라랑 줄에 미담들이 와 말이 단디 컨트롤에서나 통제를 되네 그람나 냠바를 자고요래 야 파바 대다라 아니 통유 체라 되어내와 되네 그람 세조로 되라 냠바라 아니 파베 냠발람 아니 파벨라나 냠바서 봐도 파벨람 냠니 아니라 파벨람 줄에 미담버지 엄마래
통주도 근데서
통유 체라 되어내와 통제 되네 그람 세요래
통유 체들라
되어내와 그람 통놈 토비 통유 체라 되어내와 그람 심
So, in having generated from the Arya paths, it doesn't mean that after having become an Arya being, then you fall from that state to become an ordinary being. That doesn't happen. So, what it means here by saying that having degenerated from the noble path is, when one attains the path of seeing, then seeing, kind of coming to a path in which one remains in a state of bliss or happiness or joy.
Oh yeah.
Which occurs, when one attains the path of seeing.
Adili, Rawadang Segala, Ali Rawa Singende Rawan Mepa, Yumon Bishawan to Sunday Rawan Mepa, Yirwa, Yumon Bishawan to Sunday Rawan Mepa.
So, and then the next is sense of power, kind of being totally overwhelmed by one's delusions, being powerless to overcome one's delusions. So, in that, powerless in the sense of being totally under the control of delusions.
Ani control that the biledang sana condi shawan to sawa, and the beleg shawan to sawa. Being under the control of hatred, and being under the control to commit non-virtue or negativity. Ani landojine soso chepagi ani pabeshera meba.
Being without the wisdom of the Arya beings, being without that wisdom of the Arya beings, so that one cannot, discriminate individually what to practice, what to do, and what not to do. Not realizing found dependent arising. So the profound dependent arising refers to the cause of the dependent arising that causes and sustains cyclic existence, and the dependent arising in relation to the reversal form of that that cyclic existence.
And
The dependent rising in which you reverse that cyclic existence. Forward and reverse dependent rising. Not abandoning the imprints of the view. Not being free of the burden of the aggregates that are in these contaminated appropriate aggregates. Burdened by the suffering of the pervasive conditioning, not being free from the burden of this kind of aggregate. And having a behavior which is arrogant and deceitful. And then having degenerated from the morality, from the ethical discipline that enables one to attain a higher rebirth, and having degenerated from the 3 higher forms of training which enables one's attainment of liberation.
Oh yeah, that ten dawa kondo sebe dawa tang, ani chijilo dawa la sowa teda, kansa tende samo kondo machibala sowa teda ki wangi, ani dungan na soba nyobi semjen teda la mine. 동안 나서봐니 semjan tenda la mene 동아 jan chawar debi ani chaju sembi ni jen namba juju to sha gyenjeri da gondem.
So the bodhisattvas, 16 types of compassion is in relation to these types of mistaken viewpoints that sentient beings have, not having the realization of profound dependent arising. And due to all of these mistaken viewpoints and lack of the realization of dependent arising, as a result of this, then sentient beings are subject to, various forms of suffering. And so, therefore, the compassion is in relation to this fact. Wanting to free sentient beings from all these states of suffering that are brought on by all of these viewpoints, mistaken viewpoints, and lack of realizations of the mind. So we'll stop here for this evening.
Dagi chine sawe gewa de dendang jawa gwenla gambenda jeba jisen lo santa denbe nyembo jendo sa ye jo chanju senjo rembo je ma ye bana ye jo ye jewa kone gondo beva jo kare rave gwe shinga de pendan dewa maluchu kere zewa denzen jazo ye shebe siti bado den ye jejan lama goze raden jenanga tile chojo jewa dan lo san denbe mesas ruye mese dado ne yo je jem ye jeda chemba da kundo sambo deyan Teta kunje seso dalo je gewa dita tamje rabdung ho desun shebe jawata Ngawa kana chodung ngawa de dagi gewe zawa dyoge jasambo cheje ra Ngawa nji cheje jawo zanga be chezo namba bewa da geje zama Tenje male samwa sho dadang shenji de sondan dewe sonyen la dene Yen ba yu ji